to Chief Justice Polston, other members of our judiciary, state legislators, past presidents of the Florida Bar, my Board of Governors members, and special guests and friends, good morning. Truly, what a year it has been. An unknown author said, "Life is a journey with problems to solve, lessons to learn, but most of all, experiences to enjoy." That captures my year as president of the Florida Bar, but more importantly, even beyond, it summarizes my experiences since December 15th of 2011 when I became president-elect designate of the Florida Bar. People often ask, what did you enjoy the most? Without hesitation, it's meeting the people around this state. I have given over 75 speeches, including 2 law school commencement addresses, 1 college commencement speech, before thousands of lawyers and citizens of this great state. I have traveled to cities I did not know existed and paused to visit towns that I'd previously only known from the road signs along life's highway. Through it all, I have been blessed to meet some of humanity's finest. And my spirit has been lifted by those contacts, by the noble work that so many lawyers around this state use their lives to illuminate their communities and bring hope to so many in need. I have been fortunate to share this journey with some special people in my life. I want to thank my wife, Sheila, for your love and your support, for your companionship on the road, and for all the work that you did with activities of our Board of Governors, giving the spouses different things to do. And as usual, your presence adds grace and dignity to me, and I love you for that. Thank you. We continue to be proud of our daughters. Sharday is a junior at University of Florida. She continues to achieve. She will be busy next year serving as Administrative Vice President of the National Panhellenic Council and serving as Cicerone's Ambassadorship Program at UF. Ms. Chanel is a 3rd-year law student at UF Law and will be serving as President of the Moot Court team. She told me the other day that after today, if you hear someone say President Pettis, don't look around because they're going to be calling her. Our children have a way of humbling us along the way. Another common question that is asked is how do you keep your practice going during your year of service? I'm blessed to have some great partners, associates, and staff at Halixer, Pettis, and Schwam. Jim Halixer, Richard Schwam, and all the lawyers of my firm. I appreciate you allowing me to do this service and to contribute to our bar. You have kept things going in my absence, and I will forever be appreciative. I had written here that I should say I'll repay you for that, but I thought when I read it this morning that it may open the door for a whole lot of depositions and hearings, and my doctor told me last week to ease back into the practice. So I'm just gonna say thank you for covering the home front while I've been here. Perhaps the person that I've leaned on the most is my secretary, Christina Marr. Where is Christina? Christina Marr. Last year I told you that Christina was the Energizer Bunny, and that she is. Anybody that knows Christina, she's the only person that has more energy than I do. But truly, she's the glue that kept everything together during the course of my year. Simply put, I could not have done this without Christina, and I love you and I'll forever be indebted to you. Thank you. I had a great partnership with Greg Coleman. Greg, you are going to make a fantastic president. You stood by my side, you gave me guidance, support, and we had a great year. You're going to be supported by another excellent leader in Ray Aberdeen. I am proud that we have shared the leadership of this bar as a team. I'm going to enjoy sitting over there in that section and looking at the work that you all are going to do in the years to come. Any success that you have as bar president is in large part the result of an incredibly talented staff. Each of you that have worked with me on the bar staff, you have brought a shape to the raw vision that I shared with you. And your dedication to task propelled my goal of lifting our profession and members to greater heights. Jack Harkness, you are a Florida bar treasure. For every challenge that arose, you had seen most of them before and would quickly share your perspective and your wisdom. But most impressive, Jack, was that you strengthened my vision for our profession with your loyal support, and you tempered my personality and passion when appropriate. I truly thank you for that. As I reflected on this state of the bar speech, it was challenging to gather the framework for my words. I feel traditionally compelled to discuss the legislative accomplishments that we've had. Chief Justice Polston, it's great being bar president when there's surplus of funds in the state budget. I am pleased that through your great leadership of our court system and the bar's support, the court system's budget was enhanced, including an equity pay increase for court employees. Worthy of even more celebration is that after 15 years of hard work by so many people, there was success in passing a law that will ensure attorneys for dependent children. This law will provide $4.5 million for some of our most vulnerable citizens to have legal counsel to help them navigate our state's dependency system, and that is an accomplishment worthy of applause. Unfortunately, the legislature passed a bill to fund $2 million in civil legal assistance funding, only to have the governor veto it for a fourth straight year. But despite this, overall, we had a very successful year legislatively, and our legislative relationships continue to strengthen. I think it's also important to discuss program initiatives we undertook this year. We had a great year in this regard, establishing programs that will benefit our members in our profession for decades to come. The William Reese Smith Jr. Leadership Academy, with a simple mission to enhance the skills of a diverse and inclusive group of lawyers. The Leadership Academy, under the leadership of Chairwoman Renee Thompson and branch chairs Juliette Rolack and Michael Fainer, had an amazing year. The inaugural class of 59 individuals will be the catalyst of a new generation of legal servants and leadership across this state for years to come. A generation whose reach will know no boundaries, whose inner soul reflects the fabric of all humanity, and whose character is built on doing right for right's own sake. I challenge each of you, fellows, in return for what you have told me has been an opportunity of a lifetime, that you utilize your enhanced skills and be an advocate for what's good and what's fair in your community, as well as all of life's journey that remains. Always remember that what you do matters, and you can be a positive difference maker in the lives of someone. The next initiative was Vision 2016, our commission looking at the future practice of law in the areas of legal education, bar admissions, technology, and pro bono delivery of legal services. This has been an active initial year of organization and study. I thank Professor Debbie Curtis, Board of Governors member Lance Scriven, Board of Governors member John Stewart, as well as former Board of Governors member Adele Stone for your leadership in guiding their respective subgroups. And I also thank again Jay Cohen for serving as the administrator of that commission. It is a huge undertaking to reshape the age-old profession of law and to advance it in a new frontier. But we have no choice as fiduciaries of our profession. When I was sworn in last June, I challenged us to have bold leadership. We cannot allow members to sleep during the seismic wave of change. Equipping our profession to navigate in this new frontier must be our focus and our commitment. Our response to this challenge will define the destiny as an organization, of us as an organization, as well as a profession. We must heed the call, be fueled by the urgency, and fear not of failure. As architects of our future, we must ask questions from a different perspective. We must be willing to rethink solutions in ways never considered and have a healthy disregard of the impossible. As we advance our studies under Vision 2016, we must resist the fright and resistance of change. There's a natural tendency to do nothing because we don't know what tomorrow holds. It has a paralyzing effect of, we have always done it this way. I remind us of an illustrative historical decision point. For centuries, the high jump in track and field had been approached the same way around the world, jumping over, moving forward. Then suddenly it changed in the 1960s when Dick Frostberry dared to jump backwards. He did not feel restrained by the way it always had been done. Through his bold creativity, he opened the door to new potential of athletes to jump higher than most ever imagined. So too must we dare to incorporate modern technology and thinking into our profession, yet still preserve an unchanging principle. Today at 2 o'clock, we're hosting a presidential showcase on Vision 2016, a transforming legal environment, setting a new course for success, and I encourage each of you to attend. Next, we address the alarming gap in society's civics knowledge. Simply stated, civics literacy is no laughing matter. The time for joking about how uninformed citizens are on the critical pillars of our democracy are over. It's critical that in order to maintain our democracy, citizens must understand separation of powers. They must understand the checks and balances, and they must understand respect for our judiciary and its fair and impartial and independent role within our government. It is critical that we lift up literacy of our citizens. A key initiative that we undertook this year was broadening the scope of the bar's benchmarks program, raising the bar on adult civics education. This is a speakers network designed to give attorneys activities that they can use to teach fundamentals of government and the courts to adult civic and community groups. By the fall, we hope to have in place a technology platform that will allow citizens to access available speakers online. Today, the Constitutional Judiciary Committee holds a benchmarks training at 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and I commend Chairman Michael Napoleone for his work that he's done, as well as Michael Fainer, Annette Boyd Pitts, and Richard Levinstein, who have done such excellent work over this year and years past. Lastly, I appointed a special task force to study the enhancement of diversity in the judiciary and on the JNCs. Last month, Chairman Frank Scruggs delivered to the Board of Governors, and the Board of Governors unanimously adopted the report and has already begun some work on some of the recommendations. But the mission was much broader than the immediate appointments of diverse lawyers to JNCs across the state of Florida. That is an important task, and we are working with Governor Scott and his general counsel and many others to accomplish that goal. But at the heart of this issue is a greater calling, truly embracing the importance of diversity and inclusion in our judiciary. We all say that we support that concept, yet our JNCs in courts are less diverse today than they were 20 years ago. There can be no question about the legality, since the law of the state of Florida states that the governor shall seek to ensure that JNCs and the bench reflect the social, ethnic, and gender diversity of our society. So if it's the law and we say we're committed to it, where is the problem? We must pierce the stronghold of power and realize we cannot achieve the goal of inclusion while still standing on a foundation built by exclusion. We must trust that strategic power can still exist at a shared table of opportunity. It was Michelangelo that once stated, "God grant that I may desire more than I can accomplish." We thrive not when we have done it all, but when we still have more to do. Completion is the goal, but I hope it is never the end. We have fulfilled his mission in the area of access to justice, where Greg will take that dialogue started this year and advance it into an action plan. We must be thought leaders and visionaries in finding sustainable solutions to availability and delivery of legal services to all Floridians. I find it unconscionable that in a country that prides itself on the constitutional principle that every citizen has access to justice, we tolerate an alarming gap of inequitable class system that we have. A system where only 20% of indigent people are able to receive legal services, and upwards of 60% of working class Americans cannot afford lawyers. As mentioned, this is a part of the work of Vision 2016 subgroup, but our bar must present even bolder leadership. I commend soon-to-be Greg Coleman for taking on this task and calling a summit for access to justice later this summer. Thank you also to soon-to-be Chief Justice Labarga for agreeing with your other members of the court to lead this initiative with the support of many other stakeholders. The only way we're ever going to resolve the crisis of making legal services accessible and affordable to all is by bringing all of those stakeholders to the table and to develop a committed strategy to solve a community crisis. In closing, the true essence of my year cannot be measured by a legislative report or program evaluation. Rather, our biggest accomplishment this year was caring enough to connect with each other and our members, reaching outside of our circle of comfort and genuinely inviting others in. That is what we did in December 2012 with the Get Involved campaign, resulted in a record number of applicants for the Florida's Bar Standing Committees. That is what we did with the Leadership Academy. And that is what we did with the JNC application process, crushing the record with nearly 700 applicants for those seats. Those achievements are the fruits of an engaged Board of Governors and an engaged bar. My message has been simply that the best of humanity is achieved when we stand as one. When we intersect our cultures, life's experiences, and different perspectives, we are all better for it. Our capacity to innovate is enhanced and life is simply more fulfilled. My intent, and I hope our goal, was not to open doors for a season, but rather from henceforth, allowing people to walk through with effort and performance being the only criteria. For there is no shortage of talent, but simply an issue of opportunity. As I prepare to exit what has been an incredible stage as the president of the Florida Bar, I pray that the spirit that we have developed of true inclusion backed with opportunity will echo in your hearts till eternity. We will forever occupy this earth together. Let it be an existence of equal opportunity for all. Thank you for the opportunity. May God bless each and every one of you, and may God bless the Florida Bar. Thank you very much. Thank you.